All right, Los Angeles, there is a lot to talk about, so let's try not to waste too much time. Let's talk about this. So, first of all, before I talk about this Game 1 loss for the Dodgers, I should explain what exactly I'm doing here, like, in case there are some people that might not know who I am and what exactly I'm doing here, because I know there are probably some people, whether it's people in Detroit who are like, Tony D, what are you doing right now? Or on the flip side, it's people in Los Angeles who are like, I'm not really in the mood right now. Why is this Detroit guy talking about my Los Angeles Dodgers? Like, I'm sure there are probably some people confused. So let me explain very quickly again who I am and what I'm doing here. So to make a long story short, even though I am a Detroit sports YouTuber, even though I am, you can see, a big-time Tigers fan and just a big-time Detroit fan in general, like the Red Wings flag, Pistons flag, Lions stuff, like, even though I'm a big Tigers fan and a big Detroit guy, you cut me open, I bleed Detroit. Despite that, I do have a big following in Los Angeles. I have a lot of Los Angeles subscribers, and I promised my LA friends, as I called them, that I would make Dodgers World Series content throughout this World Series. So, yeah, long story short, that's what this Detroit guy is doing here, talking about the Dodgers. And let me say this as well, like, this might be an unpopular opinion to some, but I'm not rooting against the Dodgers. Like, I'm actually rooting for the Dodgers in this World Series, believe it or not. Again, even though I am a Tigers fan, like, don't get it twisted, I'm still a diehard Tigers fan. That's my team and my only team. I am a Tigers fan, but I am rooting for the Dodgers in this World Series because, again, I have a lot of Los Angeles subscribers, my LA friends, as I call them. I have a lot of LA friends. I'm rooting for the U.S. over Canada, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not rooting for Toronto in this World Series. No way, no way. Like, Detroit and Toronto, we've got a little bit of beef, man. There's a little bit of a rivalry there, Tigers and Blue Jays, Red Wings and Maple Leafs, especially the Wings and the Leafs, and even the Pistons and the Raptors too. Like, Detroit and Toronto, there's a rivalry there. I am absolutely never going to root for Toronto in any sport, So, yeah, I am rooting for the Dodgers in this World Series. So, yeah, long story short, again, that is to quickly explain who I am and what I'm doing here, whether you're in Detroit wondering what I'm doing right now, and on the flip side, if you're in Los Angeles and wondering who I am and why I'm talking Dodgers baseball right now. Alright, now that is explained and taken care of, let's now talk about this Dodgers Game 1 loss in 2025 World Series to the Toronto Blue Jays. Before we do that, though, please give me a quick minute to take care of some business, and then I promise after that we will talk about this Game 1 loss for the Dodgers. I first of all want to thank the sponsor of this video, Michigan-based Roast Armor Coffee. A lot of you already know the routine by now, but just in case you're new here and you don't, they've got hot coffee, cold brews, chocolate, all kinds of great drinks and treats for you to try and enjoy. Visit our website, roastarmor.com. Link is in the description below. And if you find something that you want to try and make an order, you can always save some money on that order by using my code, TonyD. Shout out to Roast Armor, thank you once again to them for sponsoring this video. And also, if you please take a quick few seconds to do me a big time favor. Leave a like on this one. Comment your thoughts on this Game 1 loss to the Dodgers down in the comments below. Share with all of your friends, especially if you're a Dodgers fan. Share with your Dodgers friends. I would love to have more Los Angeles friends. I would not complain whatsoever about making new Los Angeles friends. So yeah, hit like, leave a comment, share with your fellow Dodgers fans, Dodgers friends, I should say. And also, hit that subscribe button if you would be so kind enough to hit that subscribe button, even though I am a Detroit sports content creator. Like, I'm still, I would like to make more Dodgers World Series videos in this matchup against Toronto, and the best way for me to see that you are watching and enjoying these videos is, again, hit like, commenting, sharing with your friends, and hitting that subscribe button. Doing all those things would mean a lot more than you could ever imagine, man. That would really bring a smile to my face. So yeah, again, one more time, like, comment, share with your friends, and hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate all those things very, very much. Alright, that takes care of the quick business I need to take care of. As promised, let's now talk about this Game 1 loss for the Dodgers to the Toronto Blue Jays in the 2025 World Series. So what is that now? All time for the Dodgers. Game 1 of a World Series on the road. Is that now 1 for 12? I was stunned when I saw that stat in the broadcast tonight on Fox. Like, I had no idea about that. Obviously, I'm not a Dodgers fan. But I was stunned to see that. Coming into this game, 1 for 11 in Game 1 of a World Series on the road? 1 in 11? Jeez. And now it's 1 in 12. Like, jeez, that's crazy, man. Yeah, another Game 1 loss on the road for the Dodgers in the World Series. What went wrong for the Dodgers tonight? Well, I think the better question would be what didn't go wrong for the Dodgers in this Game 1 loss in Toronto. We'll start with the pitching. I don't think we can start anywhere other than the pitching in this loss. Blake Snell in this one and the bullpen as well. Man, not a good night for Blake Snell and the Dodgers pitching tonight, which, Joe Davis even said on the broadcast tonight on Fox, like, as good as Blake in this Dodgers starting rotation has been in this postseason, which they have been historically good. Blake especially has been really, really good. I think it was Tom Verducci who said on the Fox broadcast tonight, too, that he has been, I think the words he used was ace of aces, which is a good way to put it because, yeah, Blake Snell has been great. This Dodgers rotation has been great so far in October. But as Joe said, as great as this Dodgers starting rotation has been this postseason, as great as Blake has been this postseason, they have not seen a lineup yet like the Toronto Blue Jays. This Blue Jays lineup, this Blue Jays offense is just a different dog, man. And it's not even just Vladdy, who's obviously been killing it this postseason. Like, they've got a bunch of dogs in that lineup, man. They've got a bunch of dogs in that lineup. You saw it tonight, man. This offense is no joke. Even with how good Blake has been and the Dodgers starting rotation has been, they have not seen an offensive lineup yet this postseason like the Blue Jays. As good as Blake has been, tonight was a struggle, really from the start. Even though Toronto didn't score in that first inning, like, that was as good of a first inning for the Blue Jays as they could have asked for in an inning that they didn't score any runs, Like, they were working Blake in that first inning, which is crazy because Blake got through the first two guys pretty quickly. I think it was 2 pitches to George Springer to lead it off, and then 3 more pitches to the next guy after him. Like, 2 outs, just 5 pitches thrown. But after that, Blake was grinding, man. And even though he didn't give up any runs, like, his pitch count was high after that first inning. It was high. And you just knew after that first inning, all right, we're in for a journey here. Like, they're going to be working Blake tonight as they did in that first inning. It's going to be a long night probably. You figured right off the bat that Blake probably wasn't going to go deep into this game tonight because of that already high pitch count. Yeah, man, he didn't go deep into this one, obviously, and it was a struggle for him, to say the least. 5 earned runs. You knew Toronto, even though Blake was throwing up zeros to start the outing tonight, like, you knew Toronto. Again, this is how good this Toronto offense is. Like, this is just going back to what I said about a minute or so ago, how the Dodgers have not seen an offense like this one yet this postseason. Like, even though Blake was throwing up zeros to start, even with that high pitch count, you just kind of knew they were going to score eventually because that's how deep, that's how loaded, that's how good this Blue Jays offense is, and that's what exactly happened. They eventually came through there, the 2-run homer to tie it, and then the 6th inning, it just completely all fell apart for Blake and the Dodgers. It ended up being 5 earned runs for Blake tonight in 5+ innings pitched, and then after he was pulled, it just got worse, man. Well, I mean, he loaded the bases and then was pulled, and then that's when it all imploded for the Dodgers bullpen, and some of those runs were charged to Blake's final line. But, like, you know what I'm trying to say here. Like, yeah, it just all fell apart for the Dodgers there in the 6th inning. For Blake, for the bullpen, it just all fell apart, man. And it's kind of concerning. I don't want to get too concerned because it's just game 1. Like, we still have a long way to go in this series, But it's concerning because, this is something that Dodger fans have been concerned about all season long. I can't tell you how many people were commenting at me and sending me messages and being like, I am so concerned about this Dodgers bullpen come October. I can't tell you how many people told me that. I can't tell you how many Dodger fans told me that throughout the regular season. And you saw it tonight, man. You saw it tonight. You saw the concerns that Dodger fans had all season long. You know, it's almost been the biggest key to the Dodgers' success. You can make a big argument that the biggest key to the Dodgers' success so far this October was the starting pitching, because for one of the reasons, because it kept you away from going to that bullpen that has been such a roller coaster and such a question mark throughout the entire season. You've been avoiding going to the bullpen because of how good the starting pitching has been. And you saw it tonight. Blake struggled. Your starter struggled. You have to go to that bullpen, and they just imploded there immediately in the 6th inning. Yeah, that's what Dodger fans have been really concerned about all season long. And, you know, I wish I could come in front of the camera and be like, don't worry, Dodger fans, they'll get it figured out. I wish I could say that right now, but I cannot come in front of this camera and say that, because this is not the point of the year, obviously, to be saying that. You know, it's the World Series. Like, it is go time for everybody. And again, this has been a concern for Dodger fans all season long, that bullpen. Like, I think we're past the point of hoping that they're going to get it figured out, you know, but I don't know what else you can do if you're a Dodgers fan than do that, you know, just, you know, hope maybe some way, somehow that this Dodgers bullpen, if they are called into a spot like they were tonight, you just have to hope that they can deliver. I don't know what you can do other than that. Even though we're past that point, you also at the same time, I don't know what else you can do than just cross your fingers and hope that if they go into another big spot like that in this series, which they probably will. I mean, let's be honest here, it's a World Series. You just have to cross your fingers and hope that they can deliver there, even though they really haven't delivered in other spots throughout this entire season, you know. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully if and when the bullpen is put into another big time spot like that, hopefully maybe they actually surprise us all and they they deliver. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. It's going to be easier said than done, especially against this Toronto Blue Jays lineup. So, yeah, tough game for Blake. Tough game for the bullpen, as always. As always, not with Blake. As always, with the with the bullpen, unfortunately. Tough. This is all to say, tough night for the pitching, obviously, both starter and bullpen. And then offensively, I don't think the offense goes without any blame either. You know, I felt like I was watching my Tigers play for a little bit there. And what I mean by that is missed offensive opportunities. That is something that killed my Tigers in October. The fact that whenever we would get an opportunity on offense, we would not capitalize. If we had runners in scoring position, if we had runners on base, period, like if we had a big time spot to really do some damage in the game, we would very rarely ever come through in that spot. You know, that's something that killed my Tigers all October. And I felt like I was watching my Tigers again tonight, because that's something that killed the Dodgers in this game 1 loss, especially early. Missed opportunities offensively. The one that really sticks out to me is that 2nd inning. The 2nd inning, you have the bases loaded with 1 out. You have the early 1-0 lead. Like, if you score 2+ runs, like if you're able to take a 3, 4, 5-0 lead early in this ball game, like the energy in that building would have been zapped. It would have been zapped. That was a major opportunity for the Dodgers. Again, bases loaded, 1 out, and you don't score. You have the 1-0 lead, you don't score. The bases loaded there with 1 out. And not to mention, out number 3, the second batter that came up there with the bases loaded was Shohei. That's a major missed opportunity, man. That was a major missed opportunity there for the Dodgers. And then even the 3rd inning as well. Maybe not as much as the 2nd inning, but that was another missed opportunity in the 3rd inning as well. You know, you have Will Smith on second. It's now 2-0 Dodgers. He's on second with 1 out. You eventually get him to third with 2 out, and you can't score him. Like, if you can score that run there, you might not think it makes a big difference, but it really does, man. Especially in a spot like this, in a hostile environment like that. Like, scoring that 1 extra run to make it 3-0 Dodgers early in this ball game, like, that would have been huge, man. That would have been a huge momentum grab right there early in this game for the Dodgers. But that's another missed opportunity, man. Missed opportunities, which killed my Tigers this October. Really felt like it hurt the Dodgers early in this game as well. I guess it wasn't all bad. Shohei did get his first career World Series homer in this loss. So that's cool, I guess. I guess if anything, it's not all bad. I guess Shohei got his first career World Series homer. So, yeah, that's cool. Doing things with regards to that. But other than that, man, yeah, it was tough all the way around. Starting pitching, bullpen, offense, especially early on, those missed opportunities. Yeah, tough way for the Dodgers to open up this 2025 World Series for sure. But, as I said a couple minutes ago, and I'll say it again right now as we begin to close things out here in this video, it's just Game 1. It is just Game 1. There's still, obviously, a whole lot of series left to go. There's a whole lot of baseball still left to be played. This series is far from over. So, yeah, luckily you play Game 2 on Saturday. There's no breaks in between games or anything like that. Well, except that there's travel, but obviously there's no travel in this instance. It's not what I'm trying to say is it's not like the NBA or the NHL where, there's maybe a day or two break between games 1 and 2 and so on and so forth, luckily, there's no breaks, obviously, between games 1 and 2. Game 2 on Saturday, you can quickly flush this bad Game 1, and you can move on to Game 2 on Saturday. The series is far from over, man. Especially for this Dodgers team, this series is far from over. So let's see if the Dodgers can even this series up and bring it back to LA, tied up at 1. All right, with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you this one. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you as always. Seriously, I appreciate you for watching this video. As I mentioned earlier in the video, leave a like on this one, leave a comment, share with your fellow Dodgers friends and family, and hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed and if you want to see more Dodgers post-game World Series content from me throughout this series. Again, like, subscribe, share, hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate all those things so much. All right, we'll see you following Game 2. Take care. We'll see you Saturday night.